Hello everybody, it's Joe here, and welcome back to my F1 23 My Team Career Mode journey. We are now at Imola for the Imola Grand Prix, because I'm not going to read out the full name, it would just take way too long. We got one-shot qualifying. If you haven't seen the last one from Baku, do be sure to check it out before you check this one out. Last chance for spoilers. Well, it was a solid recovery drive in Baku that ended in heartbreak with an engine failure, but we're now here at Imola, putting that behind us. Let's move forward and try and have a better race weekend here. And so far, qualifying's not looking any better, is it? That was a miserable first corner. But we can improve as the lap goes on, because I'm not so strong around the first sector here, but it's the rest of the lap that I'll find my pace. Here we go then, up the hill. Imola's quite a tough circuit and it's tough to overtake on, so grid position is quite critical here. And Verstappen, well, he's looking at being fastest at the moment. He hasn't really had a weekend where he's put it all together so far this season, but here in Imola he's looking to change that as we go a little bit deep and off the circuit there, but we managed to wrestle that back on. But we're still looking at being outside the top 10, which cannot happen. Gone a bit deep there. Hopefully the run through the last corner can save me. No, it cannot. And we are going to be way down. It's going to be another recovery drive. Oh, give me strength.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top three.
Well, neither me nor Norris really put the lap together there, but it was Verstappen, Leclerc and Sainz that make up your top three. And Lando Norris, our championship leader, down in 7th. I'm down in 13th. We've got a tall order for this Grand Prix.
Well, today's venue has a full name that is perhaps lesser known than its informal one. So today we're at Imola, or to give it its official title, the Autodromo Internazionale Enzo Edino Ferrari, named after their legacy. A beautiful... Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Sainz, Russell, Oscar Piastri, Drugovich, Norris, Gasly, Albon, Halga, Théo Pourchaire, Ricciardo, Vesti, Tsunoda, Liam Lawson, Doohan, Iwasa, Joe, Stroll, Sargent, Ocon, and Joker.
Okay, this is our engine supplier's home Grand Prix, which means there's a lot of very important people here behind the scenes. I'd love to give them a strong result to watch today, plus a good result might make my post-race meetings a little bit easier.
Well, as if our weekend wasn't painful enough, we have picked up an engine penalty because we had to change components, and I ordered a new component because of the failure. But as a result, we do have a grid penalty here. So we're at the back of the grid. It's going to be another recovery drive. What can we do from here? Can we get some points? We are underway in Imola, and it's a decent start, but we're not going to really jump anyone. And this first corner is going to be very, very... Cheers, Ocon. Thank you so much for that. Well, I don't know why I've got the warning. He literally left me with nowhere to go, as everyone is just so cautious through one. But I've gone round the outside of Logan Sargent, and I'm now going to try and get past Ocon despite his attempts at keeping me behind. But they have all failed now as we get ahead of him too. So we've moved up 2 places at the start. I'm looking at going around the outside here because there might be a cheap place to gain on the Red Bull of Lance Stroll. A Red Bull in 20th. Wow, this just shows how far they have fallen in this alternative universe. I've gone wide. Look at me fighting Stroll for 19th. but I've managed to get clear of him, and we've gone off the circuit, and we've got a warning for track limits. I just want to get through as many of these as I can at the start, and then worry about the rest later. Right, down the inside of Jack Doohan we go. He was in a Red Bull last season, and I don't think he really deserves to be demoted, because he didn't do that much. I don't think he did that much worse than Porsche. In fact, I think he got more points. I can't remember which one of them got more points. Let me know in the comments, guys. I can't even remember my own content. Right, end of the first lap. We've gained 4 places, and we're looking at gaining a 5th on the Alpine of Zhou Guanyu. It's going to be a hard... Whoa! We had a bit of a wobble there, and that made me second guess myself. But we're going around the outside of the corner, into Tamburello, up another place, up into P17.
Okay,
Next
work.
target
Great
is Daniel Ricciardo in the Ferrari. So we have moved up quite nicely here, but we want to keep doing that. What's the weather?
Another 5, maybe 10 minutes of this rain.
So only a few more minutes of rain, and into the best tyres for now, quite obviously, because the track is wet. I'm just trying to find the limits of the track, and then see if I can push them a bit. Oh, second time I've done that, but luckily no warning this time.
Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilise some of this.
Yeah, I'm using my overtake button, Mark, but here's the thing. Everybody's backed up there, and I've had to just... Well, I've gone off the track, but everybody was backed up there, and I really thought I was going into somebody. Luckily, no such contact made. Verstappen is leading the way in this Grand Prix, and I've gone very deep. And Verstappen's, well, actually, the fastest driver at the moment is Carlos Sainz. Coming back after a half-season sabbatical. That retirement really lasted, didn't it? I think he just took a holiday to the Bahamas and decided, nah, you know what? I'm coming back to F1, mate. Anyway. Where are we? We're in P17. Behind Ricciardo. This is where we're going to start to struggle a bit, because I'm not really doing so well on the first sector, making another mistake there. There's a nice long line of cars here though, and I reckon if we can call when to pit exactly right, we might be able to jump a few of them. So that's my plan moving forward, try and jump them when the track dries out. Lap 3 of 22 here, and strategy in changeable conditions races can really have a huge impact on where you finish. And in fact, I think there's 2 cars getting backed up there as I attack that curve and go completely off the track. I'm just glad that I don't have corner cutting strictness on strict. Oh, I thought we were going straight into Ricciardo then, but I'm hoping I can set up a move, but again, everybody's got slipstream on everybody. It's going to be difficult to do it. I'm going to be a little bit stuck here for a few laps. But we are pulling away from Zhou and Doohan, so that's a positive. And I'm hoping this first sector I cannot lose too much time. Try and stay with this lot. I do think that when it dries up, our pace is just going to be so much better than what it is in the wet. I'm just struggling at the moment. I'm hoping that this rain is easing soon. So I'm really stuck behind Daniel Ricciardo and Ayumu Iwasa. Not going too badly here is Iwasa, actually, in the AlphaTauri. Our season 1 teammate for the first few races. I'm thinking a go at Ricciardo might be on here, you know. I'm thinking if we can line it up right, we might be able to have a go. Yes! Get a bit of a slipstream going. A bit more daring on the brakes. Oh, use Iwasa as a braking spot and gain the position. Not the cleanest move, but we are past Ricciardo, and now we're getting ready to have a look at Ayumu Iwasa. I'm not sure Ricciardo will be too impressed with that one, but soz, Danny boy.
Looks like we're running on a dry track soon. Back to dry shortly.
Okay, and that's the radio message I needed. Back to dry soon. But how soon? Also, I saw on the weather report thingy that more rain is forecast during this Grand Prix. The question is when. Look at how many cars I could potentially jump on strategy here. I really think we could do well if we call this right. But it definitely won't be this lap. Using again more than just the actual circuit. It's amazing what you can gain just by nailing the strategy. Alright, let's try and get Iwasa on the straight. We are very close to him. Look at the slipstream. When do we pull out? Now is when we pull out. And you know what? We're getting a little bit of a run on Lawson too. I'm taking it. I'm taking the chance down the inside of the pair of them, and we have done it. Bouncing across the curbs, but we have done it. Up into P14, and now we have got the blessing of a bit of clear track. But I'm also getting the blessing of seeing the sky brighten up, seeing the track getting a bit drier, and now I've got to try and read when is best to come in. Let's have a listen to the weather report.
Now, so expect it to ease up in the next few minutes. Be ready for the grip to come back, but don't overheat the tyres.
What to go for tyre-wise? I think mediums. Right, into the pits I'm coming. This is it. I'm taking the gamble. This is a nothing to lose move. I'm already well outside the point, so let's just go with this. See where it takes me. In we come. The whole point of F1 is being on the right tyres at the right time, and you can gain a lot of time just by doing that.
Look after these tyres now. You want to finish the race on this compound.
So let's see if there is anything to gain here. It doesn't feel half bad, I'll be honest. It really doesn't feel half bad. If we can maintain good pace, this might work for us, you know. Although we are a couple of tenths behind at this stage. Just got to light these up and not lose too much time. You've just got to push like hell and make the temperature be in the tyres. Because look, we're gaining time on everyone in front of us. DRS enabled. And some of the back runners are pitting. How many of the front runners are going to pit? But we really nailed that call, and I think that's going to help us gain a few positions here. So Hauger was the furthest in front car that pitted. If we can get in front of him, we don't, but Hauger is on medium tyres now, and they are the right ones to be on. I've gone off the circuit a little bit there, but I'm just pushing like crazy, trying to make up whatever I can in this Grand Prix. Hauger has called this spot on, and we are gaining time. We are, every corner we go, we're gaining that bit more time on the drivers that are on intermediate. There is more rain coming in 15 minutes. But I'm not concerned about that now. I'm concerned about what is in front of us. And the driver in front of us is Dennis Hauger. And he is putting in some times. I've gone off the circuit there. I'll get away with that. Nothing really lost in that. But Hauger is pulling away from us.
Let's use overtake.
And that's something I really don't want him doing. I want to be trying to catch him. But I just don't think we've got the pace on him. Hauger is looking very quick here as we head into the last couple of corners. The track is now bone dry. Anybody on a tyre that isn't dry is going to struggle. How much have we moved forwards here? We should surely be in the points. Surely, here we go. There's Pierre Gasly. We have gone past him, and Russell is the car directly ahead of us, so we have gained quite a few positions through this. Gasly's wanting a look, but I'm not going to let that happen anytime soon. Instead, I want to try and get after these two, Russell and Piastri. They're going to be struggling to warm their tyres up. We've got ours in range. And this has worked out quite nicely for us. I don't think everyone that needs to pit has pitted either. So we really could have gained quite nicely from this. After what was quite a rough start, we are now... In fact, it's Piastri that's giving Russell a bit of grief. How many more positions do we move up because of Dennis Hauger setting the fastest lap? And we've just beaten by a second. We've got a few more cars in the pit. And we're actually ahead of our teammate. We're up into 7th. Meanwhile, Piastri is attacking Russell. I've gone deep watching that happen. But Piastri has moved up to 5th. And, well, okay, this has shuffled out quite interestingly, hasn't it? We're now in P7. Gasly is all over me, but I'm all over Piastri and Russell because I sense an extra couple of places here. And Gasly, well, he's going for it, isn't he? He wants to impress the Tifosi. Meanwhile, Dennis Hauger is a couple of seconds ahead of this lot. I need to stop running wide. I'm just trying to find where the grip is now in the dry conditions. And the grip is with me at the moment as we catch up to the Alpine of George Russell, who I think may be nursing some kind of issue. But we're now catching up to him, and we could still get a decent haul of points out of this race. So we're only halfway through. We've got half the race to go yet, and Verstappen is just flying out there now. Verstappen is just, he is the man on the mish today, and we're now getting ready to try and shape up Russell, but I think we're a little bit too far behind him. But at the same time, is he going to go for Piastri? No, right, I'm backing out. I'm going to wait this one out. I'm going to be patient because these two could bring me towards Hauger. So let's just let this concertina up a little bit. And we'll worry about the rest later. Lando Norris, though, our championship leader after the last race. And the driver who won the last race in Baku. Sargent's out of the race, but spare report for Lando Norris. At the moment, he is only in 10th place. This season is quite... It changes very fast, doesn't it? Like, everybody is in different places every race. Nothing is guaranteed. And one thing that I want to be guaranteed, however, is a move on George Russell. So I'm getting impatient waiting now. I want to attack the Alpine, but we're just not getting close enough. However, we're a bit closer this time, and I just want to try and use the slipstream if it's there. It is there, but there is the yellow flag for Sargent, so we can't do anything. And we have to wait another lap. But again, I'm being brought towards Hauger. I think Piastri might be a bit too quick to overtake, but the rest of them we can certainly have a go at, can't we? We can definitely make the most of these guys, but Hauger is the slower car that is holding this lot up, and Gasly and Drugovich are behind, and Norris isn't too far behind this lot either, but I see no reason to back down and let Lando Norris through right now, because he is not the car directly behind me, and we're now starting to lose touch to Russell, so we can't afford to do that. We need to push harder, find a bit more pace, because otherwise we end up falling victim to those behind. And Piastri, I think, has had a go at Hauger, and I think it's gone wrong, and I think Russell's getting ready to have a look, but I've now got a chance on Russell that I'm going to go for here, down the inside, and we've got past George Russell. So we've overtaken him in the non-conventional spot. I got tired of waiting. Up into P5, P6, sorry, we go. Now Oscar Piastri is going past Dennis Hauger, and Piastri is through, up into 4th, and now I'm chasing Hauger for 5th. Bearing in mind, I started stone dead last, so this is encouraging to see that I've made my way up into the top 6 here at Imola. And I think even if it does rain before the end of the race, I'm sticking it out. I don't care. We came into this race with nothing to lose. I've still got nothing to lose. I'll tell you what, Piastri isn't getting away from Hauger at quite the rate I expected. I thought he would get away faster than that. We've really got to stay with Hauger. Crucial now as... Oh, I tell you what, Russell's lost the place to Gasly. Gasly is not waiting around in this Grand Prix. And neither am I. I want Hauger's 5th place. Hauger made a brilliant call to pit for mediums when he did. And it leapt him up the field. But the problem is now he's going to have everybody right behind him trying to get by. And I want to get by before Oscar Piastri is too far up the road. We're not gaining on him that quickly. And there isn't a move there. Plus, he had DRS courtesy of Piastri in the Williams, who is doing a fine job in this Grand Prix, it must be said. And Russell is now holding some of the other cars back. Some of the other cars being Drugovich and co, and that's not how you do that. If we do that too many times, we will lose touch on Hauger. And then we have to defend, and I don't want that. I think we're pretty set in P6 if we can hold on to it, which is a shame, but Hauger is currently using the DRS to help him. But now we do have more rain. More rain is falling here, and this is reminding me of the Brazilian Grand Prix we had last season, where we had rain at the end of the race.
These conditions are making the line a bit greasy, but we're still nowhere near the changeover point.
And already we're getting a warning on the radio to say the line is getting greasy. Now, is this worth? And I did say I'd stick this out, but the track is already showing signs of getting damp. Is this worth an early pit stop? Oh gosh, that's not the line. Ah, there's no grip. I'm struggling for grip, and Gasly's now going to be right on me. You know what? I think we need to pit. I think we need to pit. I think it needs to be this lap too. Look how wet it is already. Struggling for any kind of grip. And surely, we need to pit this lap. Here comes Pierre Gasly. I'm going to try and cover him off. But there's just no grip. No grip at all. Right, what does the rest of the pack do? Right, no one else has pitted. I'm taking the gamble. I'm pitting. We're taking intermediates now because look how wet the track is. That has got wet so fast and nobody else is in the pits. DRS disabled. Oh, another call that we have just absolutely nailed here at Imola. This is perfect for us.
Perfect job.
That is perfectly timed. As long as we don't get traffic, Iwasa goes through there. As long as the rest of the pack pits, again, we're going to gain positions because we've called this at just the right time and the rest of the field is going to struggle. Brilliantly called by us.
Okay, the stewards have now disabled.
And strategy has really helped me move forwards in this Grand Prix, but we've now got to make sure we take advantage of that. Iwasa 6 seconds ahead of me on those. Wow, Iwasa is struggling. Everybody is struggling. The decision to pit on that lap was the right one. I mean, I had no grip. I was going wide everywhere, so that's what I based my call on, the fact that I was struggling for grip, and it's just worked a treat. Now, here's the thing. Do the rest of the pack follow suit and pit this lap, or do some of them think we're sticking it out? Look how much Iwasa is struggling. He's got no grip at all. He's got no traction, and we're just going to be past him here. That has not worked out for anybody in front, but this could work a massive treat for us. Look, and some of them has anybody stayed out? That's my question. Anybody stayed out? I'm not sure. There's the cars we were racing. There's Hauger. There's Russell. And we've got ahead of the lot of them. We're up into P4, ahead of Piastri and Hauger. And that has been the decision of the race. We're in P4 here, and there are two cars there's a car ahead that is yet to stop. I wonder who it is. Verstappen has pitted. Let's have a look at the race director, see what's what. Sainz didn't pit, neither did Drugovich. Carlos Sainz here could lose out massively because he did not pit, neither did Drugovich. And this race that started out with us trying to move forwards, using strategy to move us forwards, are we going to be standing on the podium here? Are we looking at a potential podium? Drugovich has now been passed. Where's Sainz? Where is Sainz? Leclerc also doesn't look like he's going too quickly. But where is Carlos Sainz? There he is. I can see it now. That's Verstappen. That's Verstappen. Where is Sainz going to emerge through all this? Onto the straight we go. Drugovich is in the pits. He's going to have lost out massively no matter what. There's Sainz! He's in the pits and we're in front of him! We move into P3! And as long as we can stay where we are, and pending any issues with the car, it looks like we are going to stand on the podium here at Imola. Astonishing scenes! And what a drive this will have been, although we've made a mistake there. That's going to humble me just a little bit. We've lost a little bit of time. About a second. I mean, I wasn't going to catch the two leaders anyway. There's 3 laps to go. And I was pushing quite hard to see how much I could bring that gap down. No point in doing that. Just bring it home. And it'll be a podium. Carlos Sainz, wow. I think he might have thought of sticking it out, but he lost too much. We've gone off the road again. Just bring this home, Joe. Bring this home. Don't try and get cute. No heroics. We just want a good result. So Max Verstappen, who I said previously this season didn't really put it all together, is about to put it all together and win this Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc is going to get second, his best result of the season, and we're looking at our best result of the season in third too, and our first podium. We got 4th in Australia, a race we probably should have won without making a mistake. We ended up losing a podium finish in Baku due to an engine problem, but here, hopefully no such misfortune. Hopefully we can get round the next 2 laps and bring home P3, and that would be brilliant for me. I would be very happy with that, considering we started this race stone dead last. And also it does help us pull back some points on Norris, who is currently leading the championship. I don't know where he'll be at the end of this one, but it does help us pull back some points. Because Norris is currently, I think he's an 8th, so Lando having a bit of a bad day today. We've had a terrific day though, and it started out being what damage limitation can we do? I think P3 is a pretty good damage limitation considering we started at the very back of the field, but we've still got 1 lap to go around yet, and Piastri is pushing to gain. Hauger now looks safe in 5th, so he was another driver that made a good call to go on to slicks early, and as a result it paid off.
Okay, this is your final lap.
But right, final lap of the Grand Prix here. And Max Verstappen, well, there hasn't been a moment all weekend where it didn't look like it would be Max. On pole after qualifying, leading the way, and it's been, well, a Max Verstappen masterclass like we normally see. And he's about to win the Imola Grand Prix. Leclerc is looking good for second. We're looking very good for third. As long as we can just keep it on the track for the last half a lap or so. Piastri is really gaining on us, but I'm not pushing anymore. I'm just trying to ease through the corners and bring this home. Verstappen will come up on top as winner, any moment now. But what a race we've had. It may not have been an overtaking masterclass, but in terms of strategy, we have pulled this to perfection. And Max Verstappen then is your winner of this Imola Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc gets second. And for us, it's a podium, baby. It's P3. And this is the start of getting our season back on track.
Mate, I cannot complain about that one. That was an excellent drive. Well done.
And that's it then for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And what a sensational victory they've managed to pull off here. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
Well, keeping their tyre temperatures up in the tricky wet conditions was really important. There's not much grip out there at the best of times, and it's 10 times worse if you're out there on cold tyres. So the way they kept the rubber in its proper operating window was a huge advantage today.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners.
Wow, what a Grand Prix that was. What a comeback that was from the stone dead last to finishing third. I will take that all day long. But it's a win for Max Verstappen. Charles Leclerc is second. We're third. Oscar Piastri, a brilliant drive in fourth for Williams. Hauger getting fifth. Carlos Sainz, oh, he could have been on the podium if not for that call. He's in sixth. Gasly is seventh. Norris is 8th, and then it's Ricciardo and Russell rounding out the top 10, and Lando Norris getting a fastest lap. But I tell you what, Albon, he's not having a good season, is he? He shows promise. He's shown promise, but it's just not... He's not delivered the full race, has he, so far this season? But let's have a look at how that affects the standings. Norris is still leading, but that gap has been cut. Verstappen is now second, and we are now 38 points and 28 points behind instead of 38. So a significant cut into Norris's lead has been made here, and we've needed to do that. We needed to get on it straight away, and the podium, well, we needed that podium as well. How else has the championship been affected? Well, Verstappen is now second, 11 points off the lead. Leclerc is third, Gasly dropping to fourth, and Dennis Hauger getting his first points of the season as well, after Tsunoda getting that podium, of course, in Australia. And we now have, how many point scorers do we have? We have 14, because Hauger is the newest, and he picked up 10. And the Constructors, well, 7 teams have scored, and have scored well. The other 4 haven't, including Red Bull. Thank you for watching this installment of Career Mode. Don't forget to leave a like, hit subscribe if you want to see more content from me. Until the next time, I've been Joe, TTFN, ta-ta for now, and take care.